Major breaking news. The entire world needs to listen on what is happening in Sudan. There is a major crisis that has just struck Sudan. The RSF, the Janjaweed, are actually unaliving the Sudanese mercilessly. Imagine, in less than 24 hours, they have unalived more than 2,000 Sudanese. They are even going door to door, unaliving women and children. They're literally doing ethnic cleansing. And let me tell you, according to reports that we're getting, the UAE are funding the RSF in this ongoing genocide in Sudan. And according to the analysis of everything, the weapons came from the United Kingdom. So the United Kingdom knew clearly that these particular weapons they're selling to UAE, they will be funded to the RSF in Sudan.
I was praying I would never have to say it again, but pray for South Sudan. So you're telling me tribalism wins again? Tribalism wins again? Let me remind you guys, the last genocide lasted 5 years. 5 years. Lasted 5 years and killed hundreds of thousands. And I don't think you guys understand how much 100,000 is compared to just a couple million of people. South Sudan became a country in 2011, started the genocide in 2013, 2 years after we became a country. Salva Kiir, our president, who's really a dictator because he's been in office since 2011, literally kept saying he's going to step down. It's been long. I saw the most wretched comments on a video of a man he showed a video where bombs were fired near him and all you can see is a line of fire. And in the comments, someone said, "Congratulations, you started it."
The UN chief is now accusing the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces of committing war crimes in Sudan's El Fasher and is now urging a probe as new reports are detailing mass killings, sexual violence, and targeted attacks against civilians. This was just issued today, February 13th, 2026. I want to make clear that this mass genocide has been happening since 2023, since the Rapid Support Forces, who are being funded by the UAE, might I add, are trying to take control over Sudan. And because of this, they are fighting with the Sudanese army. And for years now, they have been committing war crimes. They have been committing atrocities. They have committing rape against children, genocides against entire villages. Literally, you can go to Google right now and look up satellite imagery of bloodstains throughout.
As we look at the devastating situation in Sudan, we see the consequences of inaction. A recent UN report highlights grave atrocities, mass killings, ethnic cleansing, and systematic sexual violence. These actions are attributed to the Rapid Support Forces. The international community was warned. Reports from humanitarian organizations and whistleblowers indicated that genocide was imminent. Despite this, Western governments prioritized political relationships over civilian lives. In October 2025, while talks were ongoing between Sudanese officials and the RSF, El Fasher fell. The massacres began just days later. Diplomatic efforts offered political cover instead of real solutions. The United Arab Emirates has sustained the RSF with arms and financial support, yet they are treated as mediators. This contradicts the call for peace. Saudi Arabia and the UAE have turned Sudan into a battleground for influence. Even in recent discussions, UK officials have downplayed the UAE's role in supplying arms. This silence only protects strategic alliances, not
South Sudan and the whole Africa. You need to hear this. You know, the last time we do some shake-up around West Africa, and we are looking at how much are they paying our military, and we see that Sierra Leone is collecting very, very low salary when it comes to military. No, the police. Yeah, the police of Sierra Leone, they are collecting very poor money. And I can revisit back, but now I want to talk about South Sudan. Even Nigeria are collecting very poor salary. They are military and they are policemen. But the same problem is in South Sudan right now. They said the president of South Sudan carried some soldiers from Uganda to come and protect his regime. And those soldiers, by month, they are paying them $200 every month. They are paying them $200 every month. Those are soldiers from Uganda protecting the state house, protecting the regime of President Salva Kiir of South Sudan. Now, the indigenous people of South Sudan, the soldiers of the nation, the flag bearer of the country, they are collecting, I think, is it 12,000 South Sudan pounds, or I think 14,000 South Sudan pounds, and when you change it, it's $2.50 for 1 month. People from South Sudan should confirm in the comment section for you to know. They said they are collecting 2.5 or 2.8. $2.50. It's not even up to $5 for 1 month. And they say sometimes they will not even pay them. They always give them maybe like rice, maize, sugar, flour.
The father of this child was shot. The mother was abducted.
They go through a lot, so.
Did she have to walk to get here?
Yeah.
7 days.
7 days. And do you have food now? Have you received food? There's no food.
The baby is having vomiting and diarrhea.
Yeah.
But there's no proper care in the hospital.
There's no hydration and.
Yeah, and she cannot afford the clinic.
Yeah.
We call them poor. Yeah. So the ready one they can eat, but this one are not ready. They can be boiled. They cook and then they eat them.
Yeah.
This is where they survive. They are called looms. That is Arabic name.
So it's vital we get access to areas like these that have been closed off to us for a long time. And the team are doing that work, negotiating cross-line access across the fighting so that we can reach these communities, because otherwise they're going weeks without the support they need. And you can see and hear the stories, devastating stories of.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there's a very sad situation that is happening today in the southern part of Sudan. That is South Sudan, rather. So I know we have a lot going on right now, but kindly take a minute and post this widely with your networks, because what is happening in South Sudan right now is uncalled for. Whatever is happening in South Sudan right now is something that is against human. It's a humanitarian crisis, rather, and it's something that should not be happening to anyone, especially in this era that we live in. So currently we've seen there's genocide, if you guys know how genocide occurs, and there's a lot of people who have been murdered in the South Sudan, rather, and women and children and every other person is not safe right now. A lot of people are fearing to even stay in their homes because there's a lot of chaos that is going on. And allegedly, it has been reported that the UAE is funding the RSF rather. And this is just basically political. It's a political war where one tribe feels that they're superior than the other, and the other tribe also feels that they're superior than the other. So this other tribe is really causing a huge havoc, or rather massacre, to the people of South Sudan. So ladies and gentlemen, take your time to reflect and spread wide so that whatever is happening to the South Sudan people should stop, because it is not human. It is not human, it is inhumane. And South Sudan people, we pray for you. We pray that all this calm down. But still, again, when I reflect on this, as African nations, there's only one thing that will make us fall instead of rising. The world knows what Africa is made of already. And some of the people, some of the parts of the world, they wouldn't be happy to see that Africans can be able to stand on their own without even getting to borrow funds from those other nations. And one of the things that is going to make us fall as Africans is going to be tribalism. Tribalism is a huge factor that has contributed to a lot of setback, fall, and everything that we are experiencing as Africans. And in most cases, I feel like we have been deprived this, we have been denied our rights. And the people who are involved are usually our leaders. And these are people who are greedy. These are people who do not want to leave power. Because you can't tell me you are around 96 years old. You are around 86 years old, 80 plus.
and you still want to be the president of that nation. Like, you started being the president while some of us were not even born. Look at what is happening in Uganda, for instance. Yeah. It's like the presidential seat is hereditary. And I'm like, we are not living in those times where we had kingdoms and whatever. If you feel like you're a queen and a king, go and lead your queendom. You stop putting people backwards. Because whatever is happening in some of the countries in Africa it makes us question a lot. It makes us question a lot, because how are we going to move forward as a nation, as an African Union, if we have still these things that this person was in power? I mean, like, we have constitutions, and leaders who omit or rather do not follow constitutions, those are people we should get away with, because these are people who put us in trouble. These are people who cannot reflect the betterment of the country itself. So, ladies and gentlemen, take your time and post wide. Pray for South Sudan and the South Sudan people. Just know that we got you. And what I usually say to myself, you know what? One day, all this will end. And when it ends, history will judge those people very harshly. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you so much for coming across my channel. To my new subscribers, my name is Yvonne, and you are welcome to being part of my online family. To my returning subscribers, thank you for keeping it real. Pray for South Sudan.